Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go.
Now, everyone that's tuning in right now, if you say, Lars, where are you, Lars? He'll appear. But I need you all to say it 3 times. So say it with me. Lars, where are you? Lars, where are you? Lars, where are you?
Hey, somebody say, Lars, where are you? Lars, where are you? Lars, where are you?
I did.
Here.
Oh!
How many wishes can I grant you this Tuesday, BK?
I will take 2 wishes on Tuesday.
Well, that'll be 1 toonie, please. $2. Pay up. You think we keep the lights on with free wishes? Huh?
Oh.
The genie who answers the wishes but then gives the bill at the end. It's like you asked for a mansion and a private jet. That's $50 million, buddy. What the fuck? I got it for you. You have to pay the price, though. Yes. I am the, as you can see, I am the Comedy Alley Genie Wishmaker.
Ooh, I like this. Is this this is the new poster?
Let me tell you, buddy. I think one of my favorite things in the world is new graphic design. There's nothing I like more than like a rebrand or a new poster for a show. And here it is. This is my guy. I found a guy that just like, I explain in my mind what I want and provide some materials. In this case, some of these are based on real pictures. Like you'll actually recognize the walls, the real walls here of Comedy Alley. Mm-hmm. But I love him because I think of something. It's like, you know what it is? It's like being a creative god where you're just like, make it so. I have a vision in my mind. Make it so. And then I send this guy money online magically with buttons. Never met the guy, never seen him. He's delightful, does a great job, great communication. And we should shout him out. His name is, I'll send a link. We'll link it up. I'll find the link and we'll put it in the chat. I think it's Stephen Gilliam. I stumbled upon him on Fiverr, which sometimes people's Fiverr experience are horrible and sometimes they're amazing. And in my case, he specializes in movie posters. So everything that we've done, the Audition Hero videos and also the Actors Audition Club, all the graphics for those, he did those in the style of a movie poster. And then he's done these in the style. This is the thumbnail version. He gives me like all the different sizes, but the original one is in a movie poster style. So I was just like, I described to him, I sent him pictures of the alley. And then I said, I want a sense of a diverse crowd because that's what we have here. I want a sense of the stage. I want a sense of the performers. And I want the overall vibe to be wacky, happy fun, which is what it is. So,
yeah. Definitely captures that.
Yes. And if you want to enjoy a night of fun with friends, I got to go this way. Let me do that again. There we go. And if you want to enjoy a night of fun with friends in Comedy Alley, starring acts as seen on HBO, Netflix, Hulu, and others, then go to laughingvikings.com/Comedy Alley. go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley, and you can join the VIP guest list, and you'll be the first to be notified of our 2022 shows. And a little birdie told me you'll get 50% off your first show. So go, laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. Go there right now. What are you waiting for? And if you're not in Toronto, don't worry about it. You can get access to the live streams by going to the same link, and you'll find out all about it. That's about as Canadian as you can get. Find out all about. Find out all about Comedy Alley.
Definitely our most Canadian promo. I love it.
Yeah. Should we do another one? Maybe we'll do another one next week.
Yeah, we'll do another one next week.
Yeah, but I'm pumped. It's looking like how do you feel about May 2-4 weekend? I think that's the weekend that makes sense. By then, the weather's a little more predictable. April showers bring May flowers. Starts to get warm. So yeah, we're gonna start.
And you'll have graduated your conservatory at that point.
So conservatory, so I'll have more time, more energy to devote to this. But I want to reiterate it. If you want to enjoy a night of fun with friends in Comedy Alley, starring Axine on Just for Laughs, HBO, Hulu, and Crave, go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley, and you can join the VIP guest list. So you get on the list, you'll be the first to be notified of these brand new shows in 2022, season 2, baby, and you'll get 50% off your first tickets. It's a fucking no-brainer. If you're not clicking those buttons and doing this right now, I can't help you with your life anymore, and stop listening to our podcast. Stop. That's what I'm going to say. If you don't go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley, we don't want you here anymore. It just doesn't make sense, because you're going to hear us every week say the same thing, and you don't trust us enough that you'll enjoy it, and it will be a great life decision by going to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley and getting 50% off the first tickets and being first notified when we do secret shows. You're going to be the first to hear about it. Nobody else but you, because you're a VIP. And then you get to come here and you'll get to walk on a red carpet behind a velvet rope. Ooh, velvet rope.
And if you're lucky, a pug will let you pet her.
Luna, will you let us? She's right there. Was it all pixelated the whole time, or only when I got real close?
Only when you got real close.
All right. I'm okay with that. Also, make sure those of you who are watching live right now, share this out on the platform that you're watching it on. Share it with your friends, because that's what you want to do. You're a good friend. You're a good friend, and good friends smash that share button. Hit the share button right now.
Do it now.
Do it. Be like, Laughing Vikings podcast is just an hour of those guys yelling at us to click links and go do other things. It's like, we want to be here with you. No, go to this thing and subscribe.
You stop listening right now and go somewhere else.
I'm okay with that. Yes. But come back. And come back.
But come back. Yeah.
Come back. Come back. Yes.
We want to hang out with you.
Subscribe on all the platforms.
Yeah.
You've probably done it already. I'm going to just talk like you've already done all these things. For sure, you've gone to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. For sure, you've subscribed. For sure, you've followed us on Instagram at Laughing Vikings and at Actors Audition Club. For sure, you've done that. Yeah, it's right there. We make it so easy. We're branded well. I got to say that. We are branded well. Brandon the brander.
That's what I do. I brand. I write things in columns and then put them as the background.
Right.
That's what I do.
And I find random people on the internet.
Yep.
And I describe a scenario to them, and they make me posters.
Yep.
What if I did that not even related to shows or any branding or any special launch? If I was just for kicks, I just made people do creative things and commissioned paintings from, I think that's, what do they call those? Art. What do you call them when you're a supporter of the arts? Not a connoisseur, but a
patron.
Patron of the arts. Yes. Yes. Good work, Brandon.
Thank you.
Good work.
I got one. One.
It's funny, as I said that and then waited, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I feel like I do this to Brandon a lot, and rarely do you, like, if I don't know the words, there's a lot of, you're great at a lot of things that I'm not at, and vice versa. but I have found the pattern in history is when I can't think of a word, rarely do you know that word.
Nope.
But kudos to you. You nailed that one.
Got it this time.
You're working on your diction. A little wordle, little word of the day.
No, but I have been doing my tongue twisters. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said this butter is bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, that will make my batter bitter.
Nice.
So,
I like how you rap that. You should launch a tongue twisting rap career.
Oh, those are my favorites. I like
kind of
those
look.
ones.
You kind of look like one with the headphones on too.
Mm,
Yeah. Do it again.
Betty Butter.
Wait.
Bought
Hang
some
on.
butter.
Hang on. I gotta give you a beat. Ready?
Okay. Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, that will make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of butter, better than a bitter butter. So it was better. Betty Butter bought a bit of better butter.
That was the whitest rap ever.
Yeah!
Lars and Brandon. Apologies to everyone. If you feel you needed an apology after listening to that, we apologize. If you fucking loved it and you're like, I had no idea Lars could beatbox so well and Brandon could rap so well, those guys need a global tour, then hit us up.
Yeah. Right, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, if you want to book our rap/beatbox duo for your live event, go ahead. We're ready. That was great. I'm fired up. I'm
ready to go on tour.
Fired up. It's been a while since I beatbox, man. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes. I love this poster.
It's so colorful. It feels like a circus.
Nice.
Like it feels like a circus poster, which I really like.
I cannot iterate or reiterate enough how much I love a new poster. To the point where you can have something that's amazing. Like you could have an amazing business or an amazing system or course or workshop or book or movie. But if the graphic, if the outside of it, if the box is shitty, nothing inside really matters. Now, the reverse is also a problem where the poster is great or the outside of it's great or the sizzle reel or the trailer is amazing and then the inside sucks. You can't have that. But if you don't nail the front face, and I used to be really shitty at this because I used to do it all myself and I'm not a graphic designer. I'm colorblind and I don't really have a sense of design and size. I have a sense of imagining it. It's like I can see in my head what I want, but then when I attempt to do it myself on Canva, it just looks like a 12-year-old boy did it and doesn't look so hot. So I've been outsourcing. Look at this.
This is a little bit off topic, but sort of relating. Has there ever been a movie trailer that has gotten you so excited for the movie, but the movie let you down?
I mean, you're probably explaining and describing half of all movies right now, if not more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of science that goes into making trailers, but I'm thinking of two just immediately. I remember when Public Enemies. It was a movie with Johnny Depp, directed by, I think, Michael Mann. And I remember seeing that trailer and getting so excited for the movie and convincing friends of mine to go see it with me over, I can't remember what other movie was out, but it got rave reviews. And I was like, no, dead set. We're going to see Public Enemies. It's going to be awesome. And it was like 2.5 hours of just a snooze fest. And I don't think I ever lived that down with them.
Is that where he plays Whitey Bulger? He plays the old school gangster, or is that?
Yeah. And I think someone played Capone, I think, but it wasn't at the height of Capone.
Eyes. He had like contacts, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He looked.
It was a cool movie.
Yeah.
I mean, not great, but it's all right.
It really helped you nap in that movie theater. I don't know if it was the trailer, but I'll tell you a movie this was a roller coaster because I was extremely excited to watch it with a bunch of my buddies in university. Then we started watching it and we were all like, this is terrible. And then since then it has become one of my favorite all-time movies. And I've seen it dozens and dozens of times. And that movie, everyone, is Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know where I heard about it when it first came out, but I heard like rave comedy reviews or whatever eccentric reviews were out at the time. And so I went and I think I bought it. Maybe I don't know where I bought it. I don't know what year that came out, but I feel like I bought a copy of it at like Blockbuster or somewhere, and then went to the house of some of my high school / university buddies. I think there was a bunch of us there for some reason, like 8 or 10 of us hanging out on a Saturday, having some beers, and we pop it in, and I'm all excited and I'm pumping it up like, oh, it's a hilarious comedy. Let's all watch a really funny comedy together. And I'm with buddies who we've often done that, so it was a hyped up thing. We might have smoked a joint or had a beer or two, and then we're all like, all right, let's watch this hilarious movie. And we were like literally 15 minutes in, and we're just all looking at each other thinking, what the fuck is this? And then I'm getting heat at me, like eyes at me, like, you brought this? Because it's so deadpan and flat and you don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't even think we warmed up. We might have shut it off that day, or we just painfully went through it. And since then, I've probably seen that movie 20 times. When I lived in Alaska, more than 20. I've seen it like 50 times. I would put it on. It would be like, a movie you just put on the background where you're like, maybe you're doing household chores or you're doing paperwork or something. It's just kind of there. And there's just so many. It doesn't matter. It's a movie that I think, because it's just so slice of life, you don't really need to watch any arc of it. You can just pop in at any moment, any weird, wacky scene, and you're like, oh, this scene, this is funny. And it doesn't really make sense to begin with. So you don't need to watch it in any particular order. I've seen that movie like 50 times. I love it.
Wow.
There's my long.
So is it a movie that you didn't like at first, but you grew to love as you went along?
We nearly shut it off. We were all watching. We were looking at each other going like, what the fuck is this? This is the worst movie of all time. And I mean, not that it's a great, like it's not one of the iconic movies that you'd put in like on a pedestal of the top 10 movies of all time, but pretty hilarious. And it's very, very unique. But yeah, we were all looking at each other, and now we love it and think it's hilarious. And the first 20 minutes in, we were like, what is this? There's just
I've never finished Napoleon Dynamite. Is it? Because I think I did a similar thing where I watched about 15 minutes and was like, I don't find this funny.
Watch it again. Let's watch it again.
All right. I'm down.
Watch it. There's so many.
Because is it like Little Miss Sunshine where the payoff is really at the end, where like
you just cut up and then cut out?
Oh, is it like Little Miss Sunshine where it's like the payoff is at the end and it's a slow build towards that?
Yeah, there is a payoff at the end. It's essentially a big dance sequence / celebration moment in the school gym. So it's a lot like that. And then up until that, you're like, what am I even watching?
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Another one I thought was going to be really good based on the trailer was Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. I really thought that movie was going to be a classic. Just because it was Heath Ledger's final performance. I had heard so many great things about Johnny Depp's performance. Jude Law was also in it, and Colin Farrell was also in it, along with Christopher Plummer. So many greats were in that movie. And it just did not land as well as I thought it was going to. And my brother still gives me heat for that one. Yeah, he did not like that.
There's a theme here. 2 of the movies you've mentioned have starred Johnny Depp. So I think to you, Johnny Depp overpromises and underdelivers, or at least the editors and the producers who make the sizzle reel trailer.
Well, the thing that I didn't like, Johnny Depp's performance in Imaginarium is great. It's just very, very short. And it was made out to be like, oh my God, Johnny Depp's performance is groundbreaking. Oh my God, it's amazing. And it was just like, he's in it for 10 minutes. And there's not much of an arc there. So I was like, cool, yeah, it's a good performance. He's grounded, he's amazing, he's always really great. But like, he was only in it for 10 minutes and there's not much to that scene. It was a good preamble into his Mad Hatter, really.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
But like they all did that because of Heath Ledger's passing. Like they did it as a favor to him to finish off his last movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he died mid shooting.
Yeah.
Like,
so basically, have you seen the movie?
no, I have not. Great name.
So like everything in the real world was filmed, and like Heath Ledger plays all of that, but all of the stuff in the Imaginarium is different people play as him.
Oh wow.
So like his face and his mannerisms are shaped as to who enters the Imaginarium first.
Wow.
Yeah, so he becomes whatever like embodiment they see as attractive. So like it's a woman in the mall that sees Johnny Depp and is like, "Oh my God, he's so attractive." And then Colin Farrell is like the love interest version of him, and Jude Law is also another version of him as well. It's an interesting concept. Definitely an interesting concept.
Yeah, that must be weird playing a version of a dead actor. Like he was dead by the time they were shooting it. So did they rearrange it? Was it going to be one movie, and then they were like, "Oh shit, Heath's gone.
Yeah.
Now what do we we do with this monstrosity?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's creative. That's cool that they were able to do that. And figure it out. Crazy.
Yeah. Very cool. So, Lars, do you want to get into some client shout outs right now?
It is about that time. I was just looking at my watch, and it says here, it's client shout out time.
It's client shout out time.
My invisible space watch says client shout out time. Yeah, I feel like there's some good mojo. I mean, there's always good mojo, but there's an extra dose of studio mojo happening with tons of TV. So you got messages from who this week?
So we have a shout out to give to Chris Sandiford, who booked a couple different roles, a guest starring role in a TV show and possibly a series leading role, which is fantastic for him. We give him all the props in the world. We love working with Chris Sandiford. He's always amazing, so grounded, so lovely to work with, and such a fantastic person. You deserve this, Chris. Congratulations.
But I will say, Chris Sandiford, you can't keep booking all these things because it takes up so much podcast time. We're always giving these Sandiford shout outs. Right? Can we just give him one? I feel like is this the same bookings from the last one, or these are new bookings?
These are new bookings.
I feel like we just did a Sandiford shout out very, very recently. It was hot. Yeah, he knows how to ride that booking wave. And, and his representation, his manager and his agent, I'm sure are pushing him in the room like, this kid's got the goods, this kid's got the goods. He was just in the thing. All right. Yeah, ride that wave. And who else?
We also have Shaquille James Austin, who booked a commercial, which congratulations, Shaquille. He's also on a super hot streak right now. He booked a TV show last week and then booked a commercial right after that. So congratulations to Shaquille. You rock. Keep going on that, Darius King, and don't let him take you down, because he will.
And if you see Shaquille James Hostins, either put him in your movie, TV, film, commercial, or he might drop kick you because he's also a professional wrestler.
Yes. And we also have another shout out to one of our newest members of Actors Audition Club, Neetu Thanker, who just booked her second hero role in a commercial. She's really excited about that, and I've really loved working with Neetu. I just finished working with her today on another TV show, and she's fantastic. She's always super fun. She comes in with great ideas. Great job, Neetu. You deserve it.
This was the money. Woo. Nice. Getting that commercial money. And then she'll get the mailbox money when it renews.
Yeah.
Just a day of cha-ching. Congrats. That's great. Was that a Zoom one or an in-person one?
That was a Zoom one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she was showing me how she did it with her computer and everything, and it was super cool. It looked really great.
Beauty. Sick.
Yeah. So those are our client shout outs for this week. So thank you everyone for Actors Audition Club. who is in Actors Audition Club. We appreciate you. We love working with you. Let's keep those good vibes going.
Yeah, buddy. I see your shirt. Yeah. And to learn more about that, make sure to go to laughingvikings.com/links is a good spot to go. And you can book an in-studio session. You can book a Zoom session. You can rent the studio there. And you can also join the replays and get instant access to our Audition Hero event. You can do that at laughingvikings.com/audition hero. But it is all that links. That links link is a good link. The links link is a good link. Just link it up. It's a link to a bunch of other links, and you can link up with our links in the link list. It's all about links, eh?
It's all about those links.
Yeah. It's all about links. Don't be the weakest link either. None of those weeks are I almost said none of those weeks are link. None of those I am the weakest link. None of those links are weak. Those are some tight, strong links.
Strong links.
All about links, man. If you actually think about it, there's a big part. I thought about this one time. It was earlier in the pandemic, and think about how do you spend money? I'm asking you, Brandon. Physically, what do you do to spend money most of the time, or explain the ways?
Debit, cash, or credit.
So I want you to physically show me what you do when you physically, what do you do in moments when you're technically spending money? Show me with your body what you actually do.
Sometimes
right.
Sometimes it's like this, and then I do that.
Right.
And then sometimes it's like, here you go. Or
right.
Sometimes it's like, sorry, it's all change.
Right. Right. All rolled up change. So what you just explained is most of us, we spend money. It's just like in an instant. It's just like this, or boop, boop, or swipe, punch, and then the money's through us. Mm-hmm. So, and often you're hitting buttons on the internet. So I have this theory of, to be wealthy, you need many, many buttons in the metaverse. I'm just going to call it the metaverse. I was going to say internet, but if you don't let me tell you this, if you don't have buttons on the internet where people can go boop and you get money, I don't know what you're doing with the internet right now. You're doing it wrong. You're going the wrong way. I'm not saying don't spend. I'm saying it's a flow thing as well. This is like this is also me talking through abundance in my head. You want to think of abundance like an endless river, just a surging river of abundance and good things and good opportunities and money and all that. And it's flowing. But if how it flows out is as easy as boop, boop, swipe, cha-ching, and then think about how you make money. Mostly, like a lot of people, how they make money is they got to go somewhere physically. Less now, like now a lot of times that people work from home or do Zoom work and things like that. But often you'd have to physically move somewhere. You have to get somewhere, spend 8-10 hours, and then you have to go home. And you have to get on a bus and you have to pack a lunch and bring an umbrella and do all of these things, right? Like a lot of specific things, a lot of time and energy. And then sometimes you have to wait for another man or woman somewhere in another building to physically print out a piece of paper with the money on it. And then your money, for some reason, gets mailed to you. And then there's a guy that delivers it in a truck and then puts it in your thing. And then you get that check. And then you have to walk down to a bank and then do the same thing with another human being versus spend, boop. So all I'm saying is if you look at how you spend money, it's just buttons. And if you look at how you get money, if it's not buttons, you're going to be a little out of balance right now. So this whole rant is just get more buttons on the internet. I'm serious. That's what, I'm not saying don't do other things as well, but if you're doing all kinds of things and you don't have buttons on the internet where people can just go boop and you have money, you go to sleep and then people go boop. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, I got boop, boop, boop last night. I have more money. I'm telling you. and you know this. I'm preaching to the choir, Brandon, because you know this as well. Because there are buttons on the internet that lead to you to come see you in the studio, and when you send me a text, which is just buttons saying this is how many sessions I run, I go boop boop and send money your way. But more buttons. I'm just saying.
More buttons for everyone.
To get that out. Yeah.
We have to tell the people. We have to tell the people about.
You understand what I mean, though, right? Like think of all the rigmarole that you do to make money, and then how easy you send it out there. So,
100%.
Tilt it back in your favor is all I'm saying. And if you're an actor or an artist, then figure out like where are things for sale. Do you have like maybe not merch, but your actual like. Can you put up a short film? Can you put up a show? And then you have buttons for tickets, and you have buttons for an album that you put on Spotify if you're a musician or if you're a stand-up artist, or even an actor could put together character pieces or little sketches, and then you put a thing online and distribute it to all of the websites and all of the places that it goes, and just have all those fucking buttons heading your way. Like the real life version of you, if this was like a real life thing, you would aim to be out in public walking in a suit just covered in buttons, so people could just walk up to you and go boop, and that's like they just bought your album. Boop, they just bought a hoodie.
That's
boop,
10.
They bought a ticket to your show.
That's two right there. You get a 2 neat.
Like, and you're just like, oh, thank you. Oh, what was that? Oh, hey, Lars, it's good to see you. Can I buy tickets to the show? Yeah, there's a button next to the
There's
mole.
A button for that.
Next to the mole, there's a button right here. Yeah, just hit that one. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe what I'm inventing right now is real life websites. Like, we have websites and apps, but you just like wearable websites. Yeah, there it is. Wearable websites. It's just like you walk up to me and just scroll on my t-shirt. Can you turn around for a second? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Just like boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can check out right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to watch my demo reel? Oh, it's right there.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
We might have just blown minds. Luna, what are you doing? Luna's right here.
Luna. All right. Right. All right. So you want to get into our main discussion this week, Lars?
Yeah. Believe it or not, I didn't plan on ranting about buttons today. Just sometimes some gold comes out of my mouth, and today it happened to be the rant on buttons. But yeah, what's the main discussion is we're going to talk about finding material, as important as buttons, I would say. As an actor, you need to find great scripts. One of our coaches, Tom Todoroff, always says, great actors are made from great writers. So you got to find great material that's really suited for you. And one of the projects that we're working on in conservatory right now is finding 1-minute stories, aka 1-minute monologues, but for showcasing, so that if you were in an elevator or in a showcase for agents and casting directors, can you in 1 minute tell a great story that presents everything that's unique to you as an actor, that plays a lot of love, plays a lot of humor, has some architecture. So there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and showcases the best of what you want to put out there, all in the context of if a monologue is a first date. So not necessarily picking a monologue that you really love, but doesn't have some of those things like, so yes. So we've been going through just material. So what we wanted to share today with actors is where to find a few online resources, but just how to think about when you're looking for material. And this is things that Brandon and I are still working on as well. So it's not like look at them, they know exactly where all the gold is. But I'll share with you what has been shared with us. And Brandon, I know you have some resources. And yeah, the cool thing is Tom's teaching with the monologues is, you always want to have a bunch, like he talks about having your 6 go-to just as rehearsal and just to get the muscles working and just to do the things that actors do. But what is the one that's like fits you like a glove, that you fucking love, that puts you out to the world, how you want to be seen? And there's some specific things. So like I'll give you an example. I was looking at a monologue that's a great monologue, but it was very political, or because it was from Newsroom. And there was another one that was kind of inspirational, but kind of negative, because it was it was a war speech, like out on battle. So it was all about death and explosions and dying, and why we're fighting and why we're dying. And there was no humor in it. So that was one, as I'm looking for my material, I'm like, I love this monologue. It'd be really fun to play. But is this like the one? I meet you for the first time, you say, hey, you're an actor, what do you got? And you show them something brilliant. That wouldn't be the one. So it's like this endless search for the perfect, like if you're a female, it was probably like finding the perfect gown for the ball, or a guy finding that perfect tux. That's very sexist, I guess, but guys can wear dresses and women can wear tuxes. But it's like finding the perfect piece of clothing, and you're like, oh fuck, I feel great in this. This fits me. It showcases all my best attributes. People seem to like it. It's got a little sparkle and shine. It's got some nice buttons, hopefully, right? So we've got some sites. You want to share some of these websites?
Yeah. Do you want to start with the Script Lab?
Yeah, this was one that was, I think this was shared to me through Todoroff, and then Aaron Reed also shared this one with me, and I've seen it a lot online. Thescriptlab.com. So this you can go, and I think you can search by year and genre, but this is a database of television series and movies, and you can just look them up. Some of them have multiple scripts. Some of them just have the pilot episode. There was a few that just had the show Bible as well. Caveat to this is full scripts. So if you're just looking through a monologue, which is what I was looking for, when I was going through them, it was really fun, but it does get tedious because I was reading or scanning entire scripts. If it was a movie that I really liked, I was actually reading it. If it was a movie that I knew-ish but didn't need to read the whole script, I was literally just scrolling, looking for chunks. So you could just scroll. You'd be like, oh, I really remember enjoying this movie. There's some cool performances. Where are the monologues? But it's a lot of work. But yeah, last week was the most I've ever read scripts. I must have read, I don't know how many I read. I read dozens of scripts last week. It was crazy. And I've never done that before. So it felt good. You were like, oh, fuck, this is what it's supposed to feel like. I'm just supposed to be reading scripts after script after script, hunting for the fucking gold. But it is a lot of work, but it's worth it. If you like movies and you like TV shows and you want to find the stuff that fits you. Caveat, though, is, and a lot of people will talk about this, be wary of very iconic actors and very iconic performances. So I maybe wouldn't pick like De Niro's biggest or DiCaprio's biggest or Meryl Streep's biggest, or the thing that's the hottest buzz this year, because the danger in that is no matter what, people's vision of the character is that iconic performance, and you're only ever going to be compared to that, and you're likely going to be compared as a lesser to. So find things that are a little more obscure, or maybe a little more dated, or things that are just out of the general zeitgeist. Maybe they were famous at once, but people kind of forgot about them. Or you pick something that's great, but it's not the lead. Maybe there's a supporting character, and then that's less likely to be remembered. You find a supporting character and they have a great monologue, and maybe they were nominated that year, but not even necessarily nominees. I think sometimes anything that's won an award or nominated, there's just that extra spotlight. So be wary of those. But whatever, if you find the thing and you're like, I'm going to fucking rock this, and yeah, everyone does know it as this, but now that here's my spin, then I don't know. I wouldn't say no to that either.
Yeah. And like, really, it does come down to your personal preference and your personal attachment to it. Like, we're all gonna find monologues that are different because we're different people,
right? And
like, just because Lars and I might have the same monologue doesn't mean that we do it exactly the same.
I mean, that's like, that's the point of auditioning, and that's the point of showcasing yourself, is seeing what.
But I know there's some times where like I'll see someone perform a monologue and I'll be like, oh well, I can't do that one because they did it, and it's like, no, you're allowed to do that. If it speaks to you, it speaks to you.
Right.
Like show your version of it. Don't be afraid. Don't let like whatever somebody else does hold you back. Do it. Go for it.
Yeah, and a few other things Tom shares with us is you want ideally you have a very strong relationship, and it's very clear who you're talking to or the type of relationship that you're dealing with. That it's something current and present tense that you're fighting for, versus a memory piece where you're talking about a story that happened a long time ago. And that's okay if you're talking to it and bringing it together like it's happening now. If you're sort of reenacting it as you go, or the memory is so strong that it's right there. But again, beware of, oh, let me tell you a story about the time back when I was a kid, because that's a little, it's just, you're not fighting for that. What are you laughing at?
I just always remember the first time I met the director of the University of Windsor, where I did my conservatory program. The first time I met him was at an audition workshop for Monologues. And it was my first time actually doing a full monologue. And I had edited it down and got ready to go and was about to perform for him. And someone had just gone up and he was like, oh, well, that was good. But you don't want to have a monologue with a story. You want to be fighting for something that's present in the moment. And he's like, okay, so why don't you go? Brandon, sure. Why don't you go? And I got up and I was like, you're not going to like my monologue. And he's like, well, I'm going to be the judge of that. Okay. And I was like, that's fine. I'm just telling you. And so I start, and I remember I had edited this down, and it starts with, let me tell you a story. And I can't remember the rest of it, but I knew that was the first line. And he was immediately laughing. So I set it up well, and I did eventually go to that school. And that's one of my favorite moments with him. Lionel Walsh. Thank you, Lionel. I was his TA for improv in my second year. And I loved working with Lionel. He was a great teacher.
That's so funny. I love that, where it's like, yeah, your first line is, let me tell you a story.
Let me tell you a story.
But now the lesson, now I wonder if that happened again, something like that, maybe not the story thing, but maybe the lesson is to not preempt. According to 4 Agreements, you talk shit about yourself, so you weren't being impeccable with your word.
Nope.
Although it was about it's about your performance more than it is about the words. So next time, don't preempt.
It's a lesson that I never forgot. I never forgot that I'm searching for a monologue that is fighting for something now.
Right.
At this present moment, I am fighting for something now. And so I never forgot that. I changed the monologue for the audition for the school. I did Much Ado About Nothing, Benedict's monologue. I do much wonder that one man seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love. And then I did Tom from the Glass Menagerie.
Nice. Factory speech.
Yeah, the flew over Blue Mountain, you babbling old witch, or whatever it is.
Bring that one back. You're still in age range for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I might bring that one back, actually. I do like that one.
That's a great monologue. Yeah, there's tons in that. That's great. I've seen lots of people do that, and it's fairly well known, I guess. That's one of the other caveats is.
Yeah. Because I remember I stopped doing it because I remember talking to someone that was going in for the Shaw Festival's general auditions, and they were like, oh, well, they see the Tom monologue all the time.
Right.
And I stopped doing it after that, and I don't have it in my body anymore. And I'm kind of kicking myself for not practicing it enough.
Well, it's gone forever. You can never relearn it. So.
Never doing it again. Throwing it away.
Yeah, and then the other things is what's fun about this 1 minute is it's short and brief, and so it has to have like I said, a beginning, middle, and an end somehow. Looking for fun and playful viewpoints, looking for humor. Tom always says charming is disarming, humor, funny is money, charming is disarming.
Yep.
Playing the positive, playing the love, just because that's more. If you just met someone, like he often says, on a date or wouldn't a dinner party, or it wouldn't matter where you meet someone. You meet someone and the first thing out of their mouth is a negative rant about how they want to kill something or hate something, versus something that's funny and charming and they're really fighting for something. They really want something. You watch that and you're like, wow, that was really cool. And I admire you for being so passionate and being so interesting, probably is what you'd say to that person. versus like, oh, she opened with crying, like right from the get-go, you're gonna cry. Like, okay.
I have heard the opposite though, from an improv teacher who said if any basically any like giant male that walks out onto a stage and then immediately starts crying, it's funny.
Right. Well,
Because there's an opposite there.
In that case, you're playing the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah,
In my
exactly.
head, I'm thinking of females who are often taught like, oh, you got to learn how to cry on command, and that's the thing. Like once you can do that, that'll unlock you. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You're right. So I'm going to do that. I think I can do that.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'll be using the real life thing in my head will be podcasting, because I don't think I've cried more in my adult life than on this podcast. So thank you for providing a safe cry space here on our podcast.
You're welcome.
Sometimes we have those emotional episodes.
Yeah.
Check out episode 50. Register for Audition Hero at laughingvikings.com/audition hero and watch day 1 of that. And you'll be like, wow, Larsy could barely finish a sentence by the end of that thing.
Oh yeah.
I got it from my dad.
Yeah. Day 1, your dad episode is also really good.
Yeah. Very emotional. It's from, and a lot of them are post conservatory. So it's all these breathing classes and all the Alexander and movement classes and Linklater classes. They just shake up all the feelings and emotions I've crammed down my gullet and just shoved somewhere in the bottom of my colon. Linklater and acting classes bring it all up in a good way.
I don't know. It's the colon that did it for me.
Yeah, you could have handled stomach. I just push it down in my diaphragm, and then you breathe more, and it all comes up, and then all of a sudden you're on a podcast crying. In a good way, though. In a good way.
So this next site is the Ultimate Scene and Monologue Sourcebook. This is one that is recommended by the Todoroff Company.
Share it.
Yep.
Link it up.
And you can find it in the comment section there.
The publicism, or just publicism.info/reference/scene.
Yeah. And that's then
just visit https. Here's the long, like the advantages to having a short website with a link versus, well, just go visit https://publicism.info/reference/scene/index.html.
Whew.
Woo. Yeah. You got all that? One more time. That's https/ I won't do it again. Yeah, that's great. Share the third one.
This one is Beverly Hills Playhouse. This is one I use a lot. It has all sorts of scenes, a lot of scenes from movies from the 90s. I think there's a couple of Glengarry Glen Ross scenes. There's a couple scenes from American Beauty. And you can find a lot of materials, especially for auditions. I use a lot of this just as like homework material that can be used later, just as practice, because sometimes they are more well-known stuff. But also you have movies like Election that a lot of people haven't seen with Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon. And like, those are some really good scenes in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of incredible movies that no one has seen and haven't won awards as well, too. So it's like, certainly the fact that it was nominated or won an Oscar doesn't necessarily mean it's better material, but certainly it means that more eyeballs have seen it. So be wary of that. And what else? This
last one is Film Site. I don't know much about this one.
This one's amazing. I don't know why it brings up the big long thing there, but you actually only need www.filmsite, that's site.org/best speeches. I'm gonna say that one more time. www.filmsite.org/best speeches. .html. Or you might find it if you go to filmsite.org, but I had to dig a little bit. This one's amazing because this you can catalog by year, by genre. I think I just started back at like, I went back to like 1980 and just started there. And I think I'm up to like 2010 right now. Ooh. And, but it just pulls out the monologues and speeches, which is great. You don't have to
That's
scroll.
great.
Yeah, you don't have to scroll through the entire script looking for big fat chunks. Side note, the other thing that you can do, especially in TV, if you find a great scene, I think we've talked about this before. If you do find a great scene, often you can just remove the other character's words, especially if your character has more words than theirs and they maybe had short answers, one-word answers. You can remove / edit and put that together. Like, there's no sanctity in a TV episode monologue. Like, oh my God, you can only perform this. This is not what Aaron Sorkin wrote. Like, I'm assuming, sorry, Mr. Sorkin, if I've bugged you, but you can put things together, or you can take the other character's line if it's absolutely necessary for the thing to make sense. You can take it and you say it as your character, or you rephrase it the way your character would say it. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes a blurb ends with a question, and then the other character's answer determines what you say next. You can just take that line, or sometimes not answer the question if it's something that you really like. So that's just another tip. And I found some good stuff like that where I'm like, ooh, this is great as a scene, but also can be finagled and tweaked to be a monologue if you wanted it to.
Nice.
Yeah, this one's awesome. And you just scroll through, you're just scrolling through, looking at TV show titles and movie titles, and then the handful, like the half dozen character speeches that are in there. And it was great. It's exciting. It was really exciting. Way less tedious than reading the entire script, but reading an entire script is cool and a good exercise too. But if you want to just cut to the chase, as they say in the biz, this site is fucking great. It's got great buttons.
Yeah. Great buttons.
Great buttons.
You know it's a great site when they have great buttons.
Great buttons. All right. Is that all the resources?
That is. We had the 4 resources.
So the other thing is you can also, we learned this through Todoroff, was the Criterion Channel is just like epic, critically acclaimed movies. Like, again, sometimes we all know there's some great movies that we all love that are kind of shitty movies. And there's a lot of TV shows that are super successful that you wouldn't actually like maybe learn a lot from, but you might love them as, what do you call it? Like just numbing out or just dumb zone out entertainment kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't watch it to be like, ooh, I'm going to learn the craft. You know, let's watch Tiger King. Yes. Well, you do learn some stuff from watching some of those too. Mm-hmm. And the other recommendation was look at old short stories as well. Mm-hmm. So you can go back in archives and find short stories, even finding real life stories. Sometimes you find like a newsreel. I found some cool things that are just like YouTube clips of someone going on a news rant. Like, you know, they're interviewed on the street about what's happening and they just go on like incredible rant and get their 15 minutes of fame because of that. Those nice. That exists too. Yeah. Huh. But all under the lesson is what are we supposed to be doing? And I've done this year more than ever is just get in words. There's the thing I love about Shakespeare is that's unlocked a love of those kind of words. But in the last 2 weeks, I've read so many scripts and I never did that before. Like to the point where in the studio right now, there's 8 or 10 solid monologues that I could dish out to you or other actors or use myself or just things to chew on. You know, if acting is a muscle and it's vocal and it's physical with your body, well, if you're not working out your voice and working out your body saying words, then what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. If you want to be doing that, you know, you could also be living. Not saying you got to always be working on acting. Living is a good way, but when you live, use your body and use your voice so that you're also acting in a way. Mm-hmm. Acting, but don't get caught. But don't get caught acting.
Nope,
because that's weird. Just act without people seeing it.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing.
So I think we're wrapping up here, Lars.
Yes.
And we did want to give one more shout out.
Yeah.
We did want to. You go.
You go?
No, you go.
No, you go.
No, you go. I insist.
I insist.
No, I insist.
Those Canadian podcasters are so polite.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, we have. Thank you. We've got a special studio shout out here from Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club. We want to shout out a friend of the studio. His name is Mark Rainmaker. He's a beloved actor and a beloved member of the community here in Toronto. He's also a stuntman. He's done a ton of work in TV, film, and in theater. And recently he's going through some health issues. He's in the hospital right now. I've been chatting with him, and I know a ton of people in the community have been chatting with him. But we wanted to share something with him, with all of you, in the spirit of spreading love and light and healthy vibes and good vibes. So please, for those of you who know Mark, send him good vibes and send him healing vibes. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. Actors who have worked with him and people in the film industry. He's in the hospital, but one of the things I love about Mark and have always loved about him is he's so fucking positive, so inspirational and motivational. Anytime I've ever met him, he's always had a smile on his face, and he's been really happy-go-lucky and just like beaming good vibes. So I wanted to share this. And even in his post, so he's going through like one of the most difficult times in his life for sure, and with his family. And his Facebook post recently is like in and of itself is super inspiring, which is just such a lesson. So here we go. It has been quite an experience so far, full of ups and downs on my journey to true optimal health. So many touching, funny, and meaningful and scary stories and lessons to share for the rest of my very long life ahead of me. Here's to growing younger and living longer. Rest assured, I'm remaining a positive person and even more confident of my ability to overcome this and to live life fully, especially after the talk with my main doctor. Some good factors in my favor. I'm still young. Most people who get what I have are 60 to 70 years old. I'm a non-drinker. I've lived an active, fit lifestyle, and I have tremendous resilience. I'm excited to continue this ride, inspiring and being inspired to shine my light and bask in the glory of your light. Let it rain love, health, wealth, peace, harmony, joy, blissfulness, fulfillment, ecstasy for every being on our Mother Earth under our Father Son. See why I love this guy. The only gift I ask from anyone is to show kindness and care wherever needed, work for the benefit of all humankind, and dedicate and share your efforts to the greater good. Look out for the well-being of mind and body. Be truthful and honest at all times, and take responsibility for all your actions. Do what you can with what you have where you are. May you obliterate the illusion of boundaries of your insignificant individual speck of personal identity in this boundless universe, and realize that we are all one consciousness in this realm of limitless possibilities. Namaste and God bless. Think like a monk, act like a warrior, yo. Scroll down to the end. I want to share his very end. Just scroll down the opposite way.
This way.
Scroll up a little bit. You went too far. There you go. Up a bit. Yeah, I just want to share this final bit. I'm making major life choices, dropping habits that do not serve me while choosing those that do serve me and those around me. I'm learning not to fear death, but to appreciate life so much more. Catch on the flippity flop. Those were Mark Rainmaker's words. I fucking love you. So good. So good. Man, it's tough to like me sharing those words. Obviously, anytime you're thinking about this kind of stuff and health issues, it brings up things in your own family. So naturally, I think of people in my family and other family members and friends who have gone through it. I'm thinking of Mark as I'm saying these things, but like, oh man. And long before Mark was in the hospital, he was like this. His posts always, I don't think I've ever seen a guy who has more like positive emojis where it's like, it's all stars and rainbows and like bees and thumbs ups and fireworks and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Mark Rainmaker, for being who you are and for spreading your love and light with the world. And fucking, you're the biggest fighter ever. So if I would bet on anyone, I would bet on you. So you got this, and you got a whole group of people fighting for you and sharing your love and rooting for you, buddy. So love you.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today.
Let it rain.
Let it rain.
Yeah. And actually, one more thing. For those of you, whether you know Mark or whether you don't, find him on Instagram under Mark Rainmaker and just shoot him a good message of like whatever you got. Yeah. And you're going to follow some cool shit. He does amazing TV and film work. He's done a ton of stunt work. His reels are great. Anything he posts is really positive too. So like follow him for the rest of his life as well, not just because he's in the hospital right now, because he does great stuff and he puts a lot of great stuff out there. So your life will certainly be better for having more rain and Mark Rainmaker in your life. So go get it.
Go get it. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Another podcast episode where I cry.